Alright, this is going to be the video for Chapter 3, Learning Targets number 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so we're going to cover three different targets here. Um, they're very basic. Learning Target 3 is just I can fluently, which means you just follow the steps, add multi-digit decimals using the standard algorithm. So we're talking about just the steps to add. Okay, you can see Learning Target 4 right here is going to be subtract. So the only thing it's going to change is add, subtract, and then when we get to Learning Target 5, which is on the next page, that's going to be multiplying them. So really the big thing that I want to get, I'm not going to do all these, I don't think. Really, I just want you to see, just remind you more than anything, that when you're adding decimals, you have to line up your place values. You have to do it. Okay, so for instance, 0.42 plus 0.27. Now I realize probably some of you are sitting here going, oh my gosh, I cannot believe we are doing this. Well, I'm just making sure, it's my job as a sixth grade teacher to make sure that you do know how to do this. Okay, so you have to line up your place values, you have to line up your decimals. Okay, and the decimal comes straight down. That's really the whole thing with adding decimals and subtracting decimals. The decimal is going to come straight down, and then we just add like normal. So 2 plus 7 is 9, 4 plus 2 is 6, 0 would obviously would be there. The only thing I'm going to show you is like this one here. I could see a mistake happening. Just make sure if it's 3.25, again, it's all about lining up your decimal, plus 4.6 must go here, which means you're going to need to add a 0. So you see how I lined up everything. The decimals, the ones place, the tenths place is lined up, and then I added a 0 there to line up the hundredths, and then you would add from there, bring your decimal straight down, bang, 7.85. Okay? So I'm not going to do any more of those. I think you can do these if you want, but it's just a quick little refresher on making sure that you are aware of how to add decimals, okay, multi-digit decimals. Okay, bringing this back up. Now we'll do a subtraction one. The rule for subtraction is no different. So if I know that, I'm just going to skip to this one right here. So I know that's 4.7. If I'm subtracting 0.83, notice that 0 has to be directly underneath that 4, and then it's got to be like this, which means I need to add a 0 there. Okay, so then we're ready to subtract. You try to take 3 from 0, you can't do it. So you're going to have to go over here. You're going to have to, I don't know what's going on, why I did that. Okay, we can't take 3 from 0, so we're going to have to borrow. We're going to borrow one of those there, and then this is going to become 10. 10 minus 3 is 7. Again, now we can't take 8 from 6, so we've got to borrow from here. 3, and then we're going to make that 16. 16 minus 8 is 8. Remember, your decimal comes straight down, and then 3 minus 0 is 3. So there's your answer. Okay, I'm not going to do any more than that. If you want to do the rest of these, you can. I know that this is very, very, very review, but I just wanted to make sure you all are aware that we line up our decimals and we bring it straight down when we're adding and subtracting. Now, let's go to multiplication, because this is where the issue has been. On review sheets, I've seen a lot of trouble here. So again, if this is something that you're pretty good with, great. But from what I've seen, it's not been great. Okay, so I can fluently multiply multi-digit decimals. So now we're multiplying these. Now remember, as we've done on review sheets, I see some teachers, they're teaching you to line up your decimals. Okay, now this one just lines up, actually does just line up. But like this one here, I honestly have seen people, don't write this, I have seen people doing 23, and then they multiply it, and then they go, okay, that's going to be 0.003, so I've got to make this like that. And they actually do this, and they do all these steps where they go 3 times 0, 0, 3 times 0, 0, 3 times 0, 0. That is just a waste of your time. Okay? We do not line up decimals when we multiply decimals. You don't do it. Now, the way that I teach it is I basically say, you know what, we are just going to forget about the decimal for just a minute. So the problem we're going to be doing is 432 times 68. Okay? So this process, I think you guys all remember. The actual multiplying, it's just whether to line up your decimals or not. So we're going to take that number, and then we're going to multiply it by all the numbers up here, working our way from right to left. So 8 times 2 is 16. I'll do something real quick. Get rid of that. I know you can't get rid of it, but I'm just trying to create a little bit of space. I think you'll have enough space if you're right small enough. Okay, that's 16. We've got to carry 1. 8 times 3 is 24, plus 1 is 25. Carry 2. 8 times 4 is 32, plus 2 is 34. Okay. Now remember, if you only have 2 digits, then you have to do a placeholder right there. That placeholder has to be there. Now we're ready to start over. Okay. I like to use different colors because I just think it helps you see it. So now we're talking about 6. I know mine's getting kind of jumbled here. 6 times 2 is 12. Carry your 1. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 1 is 19. Carry 1. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 1 is 25. Now we're ready to add them. 6 plus 0 is 6. 5 plus 2 is 7. 4 plus 9 is 13. Carry 1. 3 plus 5 is 8, plus 1 is 9. And 2. Now, the answer to 432 times 68 is definitely 29,376. It is. But that's not what the question was asking. Now, because we made these all whole numbers, we have to understand that every whole number's got a decimal at the end. Now, what we have to do is we have to figure out how many numbers to the right of the decimal in my original problem did we have. So we had 43.2 times 6.8. I have one number to the right of the decimal. I have a second number. So that means my decimal needs to move over 1, 2. So my correct answer here is 293 and 76 thousandths. Okay? All right. Now check out this next one. This is why my method is so easy. You take the decimal out. All you're going to be doing is 23 times 3. That's really, really easy, right, everybody? Because it just takes much better than the way that I was showing you guys. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 2 is 6. 23 times 6 is most definitely 69. But that is not the answer to this question. Okay, this is not the answer. We have to understand that the decimal would be right there. But now we got to go up and we got to figure out how many numbers to the right of the decimal we had in our original problem. I see 1, 2, 3. So I need to move my decimal 1, 2, we got to move it again. We had to move it one more spot. So what do I have to put right there to make this correct? Hopefully you're all saying you have to put a 0 there because it has to move 3 spots. Okay? Everybody got that? So this didn't have any numbers to the right of the decimal. This had 3, so we move our decimal 3 times. Okay? Number 3. Okay? Again, we're going to disregard that decimal. So we got 116 times 45. Again, I'm just quickly going to get rid of that so it's not on my road. And I can write nice and big for you guys to be able to see. Okay? 5 times 6 is 30. So we bring 3 down. Or bring a 0 down. Carry your 3. 5 times 1 is 5. Plus 3 is 8. 5 times 1 is 5. You just got to remember you got to put your placeholder there. Get rid of your carries. Okay? Do it in a different color so we can see it. 4 times 6 is 24. Carry 2. 4 times 1 is 4. Plus 2 would be 6. And then 4 times 1 is 4. Now we're ready to add these together. 0 plus 0 is 0. 4 plus 8 is 12. Carry 1. 5 plus 6 is 11. Plus 1 is 12. And then 1 plus 4 is 5. The answer to 116 times 45 is definitely 5,220. It is. But then we've got to remember we got to put that decimal back in. So we got to realize, okay, I see one number to the right of the decimal, so my decimal needs to move one place. So the answer to this question is actually just 522. I would accept 522.0. That's right. But I mean, you could put as many zeros after this as you wanted. Okay? All right. I want you guys to pause, and I want you to try number 4. Okay? So, again, we just eliminate the decimal. So I know that we're going to be doing 1,302 times 21. Okay? Just get rid of the decimal. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 1 is 1. Need a placeholder there to represent that, right? Then 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 1 is 2. Now we're ready to add these together. I'm going to have to kind of do this up here because I'm out of room and I can't move it down. Maybe not. Maybe I can fit it. 2 plus 0 is 2. 0 plus 4 is 4. 3 plus 0 is 3. 1 plus 6 is 7. And then 2. So you know you get 27,342. The decimal right there. We've now got to figure out how many numbers to the right of the decimal do we have. That would be 1, 2. Okay, I'm going to move it over 1, 2. So 273 and 42 hundredths. Okay. All right, so here's the deal. If you need more help on the rest of these, if you're still kind of struggling or you want some extra practice, you can do these. These are optional right here. Okay, they are going to be optional. Let me make sure I don't have any more problems down here. Okay, these are going to be optional. So if you're done, go ahead and shut the video off. Otherwise, stay with me. All right, number 5. Okay, again, this is going to be 647 times 32. Just get rid of the decimal. Make it real easy on yourself. 2 times 7 is 14. Carry 1. 2 times 4 is 8. Plus 1 is 9. And then 2 times 6 is 12. Change colors. 3 times 7 is 21. Carry 2. 3 times 4 is 12. Plus 2 is 14. Carry 1. 3 times 6 is 18. Plus 1 would be 19. Now I'm ready to add these together. 4 plus 0 is 4. 9 plus 1 is 10. 3, 7. 10, 2. The answer is not 20,704. Remember, then we got to figure out how many numbers to the right of the decimal we have. 1, 2, 3, 4. So my decimal needs to move 1, 2, 3, 4. So the correct answer there would be 2.0704. Okay? And finally, last one here. We know we're going to be doing 4,245 times 34. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 4 is 16, plus 2 would be 18. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1, 9. 4 times 4 is 16. Put your placeholder down there. Done with that. Get rid of the carries and all that. 3 times 5 is 15. Carry 1. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 would be 13. Carry 1. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. 3 times 4 is 12. Now we're ready to add these together. And there you go. 12, 13, 13, 14, would be 4 and 1. It would be 144,330. Now we're going to figure out how many numbers to the left of the decimal we had. And we had 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need to move it 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? All right, guys.